Also, welcome everyone again. Today, looking complicated, but actually it's not that complicated in a painting sequences. Yes, so cherry blossom with a bullfinch bird. Yes, by Japanese artist Hokusai. Yes. So before I move my paints away and we start with the sketch, yeah, also for the newcomers, Tammy, just, feel free to stop me if I'm rushing. Yeah, feel free to ask questions. This is, you see, a small group. This is welcome. Yeah, so it's not only me talking, but you also feel free to comment and ask. I'll be happy to. Yeah. Also, maybe just a quick check with my settings. So, yeah, I have some water. Then the palette, we're mixing paints, and let's go through what colors are we using today. So, a quick question: how do we get a muddy green color? Yeah. Marina, what would you do to get the muddy green color?
I will start with a green and some gray. I don't know, maybe a black. I'm not sure if black will be too much. I don't know.
Yeah, in general, yes, of course, it's a good guess. So you would take, let's say, just medium any green, and you can add brown. Yes, adding black is also often, to make it more like intense. But today we will try a very interesting mix that usually, it's not logical, but once you try it, we will be mixing black and yellow. So just these two colors. And this gives you this muddy green color. Yes. So we will be starting with these two. And then I have pink. Yes, so we have some pink strokes on flower buds. And I will mix then pink with yellow to get this orangey. Yes, of course, adding white to have it more pale. So for the bird, this peachy color. And then I have emerald green, also mixed with white. So it's less intense for all the branches and these half leaves. Yeah, so you can see halves are kind of dark and halves are greenish. So this is the same color, but here on a sketch you can see, so those flower parts that are closed. Yeah, so we have blossoms, they are open and they almost have no color. So I have here just a white paper left. And then we have those closed ones with these pinky lines. And there they have kind of like these green heads. Yes, on top. Those ones we do with like adding yellow, so a bit warmer tone for green. Yeah, so just, we will distinguish them. So these are for greens. And then of course, blue. Yes, I suggest you, if possible, choose like one blue from the tube to do the, let's say, first layer, because of course the space is big. So you're not always, you need more paint. And if it's like, if you mix it and then it's over, you need to mix it again, and then you might get just different one. So it's always just easier, you kind of put more paint from tube, and then later for second layer we can use some mix to, make it more interesting. Yeah. And for the brushes, then I have thin brushes, and like thin and long, and typical like flat And I'm painting on A4. That's why this size is comfortable. Of course, if you like challenge and you took A3 paper, then yeah, just a bigger brush, the one is comfortable. But we start with the sketch. Yeah, so you go as usually with the pencil on your paper, and I go with the marker. Here is my marker. Yeah. So here actually we have a good guidance by this all very long branch. Yeah, so it starts here on top, follows here the left side, and goes down. So we shall start with this, and this one helps us kind of to separate, yeah, and to plan all our drawing. Then we have, so here we have this big one on top, then kind of it follows the line. Yes, one can also see it's almost more or less in the middle of the paper where this white flower on the left side is. So I can actually also just sketch a flower. Yeah, for example, those circles on the painting, you see they're done with these little stripes. But now, while going with the pencil, I do just the circle. Yes, and then of course this inner circle. And then later with the paints, we will create these lines, yes, that are and then I continue my branch down. Yes, and then I can also, and here one big diagonal. Yeah, it's also very useful when you start and create your composition. So for example, I can check, okay, here is my diagonal, and I'm checking the triangle that is left, and I can see, is it like the big angle, small? So more or less approximately, this is what I can, you know, make here on my paper. This is like if you tend, you know, to match accurately the original. But of course, feel free to interpretate. Then we sit the bird, and here be careful, the bird is not really in the middle. So actually this space is bigger, yes, than the space between the bird and the rest. So it's kind of, if I take the middle of my paper, the bird, this line of tail will be somewhere here. Yeah, and then I can kind of sketch the rest. Yeah, so then I can, yeah. So don't get into the details of the bird. So first we try to sit everything, yes. So it's sometimes, of course, temptious to start drawing also the eye of the bird, but then maybe you realize you need to move it centimeter, you know, to the right, to the left, and then you need to move, you know, everything. So so after the bird, so somewhere the neck of the bird, yes, this other branch is continuing, and then we meet more flowers. Yes. Also, please keep attention to the thickness of the branch. So we had the earlier session with the same painting, and both actually made the mistake painting the branch the same thickness. Yes, and later with the paints, it's you kind of see it. You see it just one thin long line. So try to like consciously avoid it. So yes, here on top, here the branch is thicker and has these black dots on top, and also where the bird is, the legs, it's also kind of as an accent. Yeah, there is also the more darkness. So change it. Yes, of course, going towards the flowers, of course, branch is usually thinner, yeah, like the tree is. And so here I'm sketching the flowers. So Mel, for example, if you already have your sketch, yeah, as I mentioned, you can just spend this time and detailize a bit more the bird. Yes, or I mean, the more detailed you do now, and of course, easier it gets with the paints. Yes, because then it's hard to paint and think of the drawing. And yeah, so if you have a chance, yeah. And I'll also notice these kind of curvy angles of branches. Yeah, here's some where it's kind of okay. So yeah, somewhere here. And try also distinguish a bit between those closed buds of flowers and the open ones. Of course, open ones is easy, we see, but this closed one, because also in a original description, you know, of the painting, they write, yeah, the Hokusai, he would represent the rhythm of the blossomed flowers and the closed, these buds. Yeah, so it's you kind of can think about it. What also very interesting, what I found in his composition is that he's constantly, one part is touching the other. Let's say here, the bird's tail is touching some flower buds here, yes? Then here is one branch hanging and it's slightly touching here another flower. So it's kind of connecting here also, this in the middle, this white flower, and its leaf is touching those ones on top of it. Yeah, kind of a connection. So you can check how it looks on your drawing. So if needed, you can prolong maybe some lines. Yes, because I find it very kind of makes sense. Yeah, so a little bit like a puzzle. Now I'm trying to come all the pieces in one. Yes, and of course, no worries if it's impossible. You can't copy all those small buds. Yeah, it's really approximately. So maybe exactly try to catch this rhythm of of leaves and yes. And again, if you when you draw these closed buds of flowers, also kind of mark a bit those heads. Yeah, so just this kind of part on top. Yeah, because we will be marking them with the green, and they also they make nice yeah, all this general color combination with this pinky and yeah. Also, what is useful with any sketch when you prepare, so let's say you draw some line, and if it's the area where it's going to be dark, you can at once with the pencil kind of also quickly color with the pencil, so it's dark. Then it's easier later for you to to catch. So especially, let's say with these leaves, they're kind of half and half. So instead of doing just like this open line, I on purpose color, yeah, quickly decide that will be dark, yeah, and it's a little bit kind of, since you already did the job of watching and looking, okay, here is dark, here is light, so it's just kind of noting. On the left side of flowers, here at the bottom, I find, so it's here where my blue brush here, I find he did, so usually there is no such lines of leaves, but here kind of there is one longer line of the bigger leaf, and then also a bit here at the bottom continuing. I see it, maybe somehow he repeats a bit the, like the bird, so parallel to the bird. So one can also, you can kind of just a bit stronger mark here, these lines that are like here and here. Yeah, so there are leaves and flowers around, but this okay. And of course, try to take more time for the bird, especially mark the legs well. So let's say if you have the original somewhere near you, you can kind of need some time to, distinguish, because the legs are very, similar to branches in its kind of shape. So just a little bit, mark clearly for you, so okay, these are the legs of the bird. So you don't mix it, you don't paint them green, and then maybe it also helps to get the shape a bit better. In this case, maybe there is no such like, don't study them anatomically, just kind of repeat those lines as you see them going. Yes, so then they look a bit similar. It's so usually, of course, it's always good to understand, yes, how the leg or the arm or something, how it's bowing, and so then it's maybe makes more sense when you paint it. But sometimes, even if you have some reference picture of animal or bird, sometimes just kind of repeat the line, and because it's not always possible or easy to understand what exactly it's. And then mark nicely the eye. Yeah, be careful, leave more space for white. Yes, remember, it's always you will get in with the paint, and your white, it will be very easy for your white to go away. So yeah, kind of even now on purpose, you can just have more white space, because later when you get in with the brush, then it will be just perfect, because yeah, the it always it's up, and this. All right. Yeah, so in this case, for example, if I would, yeah, I'm with marker, can't move, but I would like to move my bird maybe, yeah, 1 centimeter towards center. Yeah, so this is But if you, let's say, if you notice it later and you can somehow always cheat and maybe place some extra flowers next to it if there is like too much space in between, and yeah, so yeah, so no rush, take your time. Yes, feel free to send me if you have some doubts. Yeah, so maybe for information for Tammy, that we have also WhatsApp group where we share our results, and also during the class one can send a quick shot and then I can see it and suggest if needed. Yeah, so of course you're welcome to join afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, so you just let me know when you're ready, so I know, and then we move to paints. Yeah, I imagine Mel is is ready. Yeah, but let's give few some minutes. Yeah, to Marina, Tammy. Yeah, you can also sometimes show me like thumbs up on camera if you're lazy to switch on the voice, then then I can see it, and means yeah we can continue.
Next time, I promise I'll have the sketch done first.
No, actually, it's the first time. Yeah, I've asked, like, if you want, you can do the sketch first. Usually, we always do it. Yeah, so it's just yeah, depends. Yeah, since it's a copy of existing artwork, you kind of decide whether you want it as a copy or you kind of use it just as inspiration, and then you have your own shape of flowers, and yeah, so it's pretty much then, I mean, meaning that if you want it as a copy, then of course it needs more time to do it all down.
To be honest, I think I would not be able to do it myself, because even if if it's the same thing doing alone or here, but you are talking and you are also explaining, and it's step by step. So honestly, when I look first, I'm like, how to do this? I don't know if, but I cannot do it by myself, honestly.
I do agree. I like having you talk us through it.
well, that's why I'm here. So, but thank you for your comments. Yes. And actually, I was surprised myself when I was preparing for this lesson, and I painted as this image that you can see. I realized it's actually not so hard. It's actually easier than it looks, because the steps we're gonna do, it's pretty much they're kind of logical and one after another, and then bam, you have the painting. Yeah, so
I think I'm done, but probably I'm missing some stuff, but it's
Yes.
okay.
Actually, if you're, let's say, nearly done, we can move to the next step, because next step will be kind of making the contour. Yes, so kind of repeating your pencil lines. So it's actually, you know, you can kind of add some elements if needed with the brush. You'll see it's not hard. Yeah. So you will need the thin brush. And yeah, and then we're mixing black and yellow. And so you remember, when you want to have a thin, long line, you need to have your brush wet, and you need to have enough paint on it. So here I'm placing some black, maybe not so much. Yes. All right, let's wait till Tammy finds her all her stuff. Nice. So what I did, I've placed black, and I'm placing a little bit of yellow. And yeah, then you can take maybe another brush. The one is easier to mix, so not this thin one. Yeah, I wet my brush a little bit, and first I take yellow, yeah, to the separate part, and then I get in with some black, a bit less at the start. If you will, you know, want, you can add more black, but of course it's more yellow than black in proportion. And mix it, and you should get this muddy green. Yes. On your screen, so I've checked it already in previous lesson, it looks brown, but the way I see it, it's green. Yeah, so so you just not yeah, so you get this color. Yeah, so mix it, add a bit more yellow, a bit more black, till you find that your color is kind of, it's nice. It's not, you know, it's not bad color. It's yeah, it's kind of actually useful in lots of, in some parts. No? And then with the thin brush, so first I make it wet in my water, then I go into this my pile. Yes, and what I do, just freely. So if it helps, we can start, you know, kind of repeating your line with branches. Yes, since they are, and it's like I'm sketching. So I also constantly kind of go back to fill in the brush, but I'm just repeating what we've sketched, and a little bit the same when the leaves are these halfly leaves. Yes, when they are, when you meet this half that is darker, I just leave, yeah, more paint in there. Yeah, and again, maybe, so if it works, you can just go maybe, you know, where your branch is. Yeah. The tip that I would give doing this is, so of course, when you first fill in your brush, it has lots of paint, and when you try to create this thin line, of course you have, it's like thicker. So in this case, just go to those parts of your painting that are darker, where you see, you know, maybe exactly this half of this leaf. Yeah, go there, but you continue sketching with the brush, and once you feel it's starting to lose the paint, then you can go, let's say, around the flowers. Yeah, so I'm going also around white flowers, And here, so instead of, yeah, here I already do these lines in the middle of the opened flowers. So these opened flowers, if you notice in the middle, they have those kind of stripes. Yes. So I have sketched it with the pencil, the circle, and now I repeat. Yeah. And here, try not to be lazy and turn your hand around. So then you get those little lines, yeah, kind of nicely around, because if I keep my hand straight and I like in one position and I try to do all these little lines, then of course they will get a bit kind of one direction. So then I just, you know, position your. So and here try it's free. Don't be afraid to yeah, kind of the more you free up yourself, actually the better it will look. Yes, with these thin lines, yes, doesn't matter what you're painting, the more confident you put them, the better they look. Once you try kind of scary and you put them slowly, yeah, then you kind of, you need to repeat. But if you go quickly, then it's just one line and it looks, yeah, so. Yeah, and you see, you can also jump on different parts of painting. Yes, and at the moment, I'm so making contour of everything also. So white flowers, the buds, all my pencil lines. Yes, and of course, let's say straight away, if you know see it, can make darker some parts of the tree. Yes, where it goes, has these dots. Yeah, and this is still the stage where you can kind of correct a bit some position of something. Yeah, so. Yeah, and also don't worry, let's say, okay, I move this flower or this leaf a little bit to another side, but I have some pencil left. No worries, we will have all this blue, yeah, so it will cover, yeah, no problem. Yeah. And again, so if around the flowers, I was kind of, let's say, rushing quickly, yeah, when I get to the bird, I slow down, yeah, so I take a bit more, just a bit more careful. Yeah? And the bird has also very nice, these strokes. It's so the same like in the middle of those opened flowers. And yeah, so if you sketch the bird just with the, you know what, with one line, now it's the moment when you can do these strokes. Because later in the end we will be, after we do the blue background, we come back and kind of go all around with some black, yes, more like defining some, yeah. So it's actually nice. Now we will have this brownish, greenish lines. And then later with in the end with the black, with the dark, these ones will stay like a bit lighter layer. And yeah, so once you get to the bird, no rush, slow down, do the nose, do the eye. Yeah, so also you can notice the branch is really dark on the part of the bird. Yeah, so here now you can bravely put more paint there. Yes, so it's also a little bit like an accent that makes a viewer to look there. Yeah, and then you see, oh, it's actually, there is a bird sitting. The original size of this painting, that is actually, it's made on this wooden block. Yeah, Hokusai was painting often on wooden blocks. It's actually smaller than A3, so it's smaller than we are painting now. I was very surprised to read it. Can't even imagine how he was doing it. And those Japanese signs on the right part of the painting. So this is actually a poem written by a poet, so another artist. So Hokusai, he did the painting and the like cooperation. Not sure, have to check if the poet was still alive or Hokusai took maybe something that this is the famous Japanese haiku poems. Yeah, maybe you know this short, like 2-line poem. And yeah, when I'll finish this stage, I will read it to you. So.
Jenya?
Yes, tell me, Marina.
I realized that I have to get another brush because this was my thinnest one. And it became very fluffy. And now, to be honest, it's creating a bit of a mess, but I don't have any others. So I think I will just do it further. And I think the lines will not be so neat because...
Yeah. So maybe in this case, okay, it's really fluffy.
I'm almost done. A bit like, like dirty, it's not so neat like on your side.
I understand. I'm thinking maybe you should just kind of skip, don't go around everything.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's say, well, actually, it's like around white flowers, it's probably more a must to have those lines than around all the rest. Yes.
Yeah.
Because the branches, these green halfly leaves, we're gonna have paint and you're gonna get this shape. But white, if you, let's say if I don't have this contour and then I have just blue around, it's more difficult than they're getting like they being lost on a painting. Yeah, so depending how dirty, how fluffy it all got, check maybe just those opened.
Yeah.
And I know it's a bit tricky because exactly there one wants the lines to be thin. Yeah, and
it's okay. No, at least now.
Or actually, I mean, if you have somewhere around you some pen, why not? You can always kind of mark lines with the with the, like marker, but like a black, like ink. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's because then it looks also nice, and depends. Some inks get blurred a bit when you later go with the water, so they can actually look nice. So yeah, check how it looks. If it's really bad, maybe try to find some ink pen just for the flowers, let's say, or you say, it's.
I think with the colors later it will be better.
Yes. It's so all right. I have finished my sketch. You finish. No rush at all. Just later, remember, let me know to when we continue. And I will find and read you the poem. Yeah, it's very short. So the painting was painted 1834, approximately. Yes, so in Japan, on wood block, and it's 25 centimeters, like the longest side, and the shortest just 18 centimeters. Yeah, so it's literally smaller than our A4 paper. And generally the story, the bullfinch, that's the name of the bird, is kind of a symbol of the New Year tradition in Japan. And what they do, that they would have this bird, like a wooden, in wood, like a figure, and what they do, they exchange. So from old year, then you get the new wooden bird, and you exchange, so the bird continues to protect you from misfortune and for the upcoming year. And it's written that this bird is the male bird, and you can distinguish it by some pink marks on cheek and throat. Don't know how the female bird looks. And about the poem. So inscribed top right is a short verse of 17 syllables. The name of this is Hoku, when the poem consists of 17 syllables, by Bunrai Setsuman. That's the name. So, and he was in late 18th century to early 19th century. He's a haiku poet of the Setsuman school. And the poem says, a single bird wets its feathers and flits away. Morning cherry. That's the part. Yeah. So also interesting part that with those dots on a tree, maybe it's also part to show kind of the morning when there is this dew, so this water like in the morning grass, you have water. So it should be also there. Yeah. Yeah, that's all information I have about this painting at the moment. How's going, Marina? Did you manage to somehow?
Well, I think I could go on for the next because it's not going to get better.
And you remember the golden rule, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I'm a bit disappointed, but it's because of my brush. I should have bought a really thin one and a new one because this one used to be thin,
Mm,
but it's super fluffy. And when I put paint on it, it becomes very, yeah, it's not thin anymore.
yes. Well, that's what happens, especially acrylics. Yes, watercolors maybe not so much, but acrylics they dry.
Yeah.
Like brushes gets more quickly fluffy. That's
Yeah.
true. No? Do you have this emerald green color?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, but also very little of it. So more white. Mel, Tammy, what you say? Shall we move to, or a few minutes? Yeah. Yeah. A thumbs up. Yay. Very nice. Okay. Then I put a bigger pile of white. Yeah, because I will anyway need a bit more white. So maybe so you can see here. And not so big of emerald, because we need yeah, still more pale. And so as usually like apart, I put a pile of white, yeah, more white, and then just a little touch up on the green, and I get into the white. Yes, I mix it, and if it's still not enough, I add more green, but usually it's enough from the first touch. Yeah, so it's always better come back 2-3 times rather than put one time a lot and then it's too dark. Then you need either kind of just mix another pile because it's hard to lighten. Yeah, and so I have this emerald green with white, and I just go on all the branches. Yes, and no worries, it's gonna be now covering. In the Marina's case, it's actually can be very good. Yeah, it'll be covering my stripes. So of course I try not to cover all of them. I need some of them, but I'm also not worried. Yeah, that kind of if some of my stripes that we did just now, if they disappear. Because as I mentioned, later in the end, we will go all around making these accents. And yeah, so all the branches and these halfly leaves, yeah, but not these, but not the buds of flowers. Yeah, those ones we will do as a next step, adding a little bit of yellow, so then it's warmer. So now just, and the half leaves the same. I put now this green, and it's kind of covers a little bit of this dark side. It's okay. So of course I don't try, to go on top of all the leaf. I still try to stay on the half, but of course the brush gets on top, and it's okay. Yeah, in the end we will come back for the black accents. Yeah? So Yeah, this step should be pretty much easy and quick. Yeah. So the next step would be, so in the same mix that I already have, I just add a tiny bit of yellow. And again, so if you have no more mix left, then put just a little bit more of emerald. And the same, I just touch my pile of yellow with the brush. Yes, I don't go very deeply. I have just on my tips of my brush, I have yellow, and I go into this mix we've been doing now. Yeah, and if it changes little and you think you want it warmer, then go back and add a bit more yellow. And then I can add also a bit more white. Yeah, because of course now it will be bright with the yellow. So again, I made it warmer, but still we of course have it more pale. And with this, so already yellowish green, I go around of the flowers that are closed. Yeah, so those buds. So I'm putting these heads. Yeah, so there is white flower at the bottom, and yeah, and no worries. So some maybe are like more visible. Yes, that you made the drawing more clear, and others you then just kind of have put a bit color. Yes, so it doesn't have to be seen very, very precise. And but I feel it gives nice touch when it's warmer. Yeah, this. Nice. No? And the next step would be cleaning your brush. Maybe also smaller round we will do with yellow. Those so those circles inside the open flowers. Yeah, so where we did those stripes, those lines. So just there in between, I'll go with yellow. And again, if you feel your yellow too bright, lighten up a bit. Yes. And just kind of, yeah, again, repeating this exercise of the circle of those stripes. Also can do the legs of the bird. Yeah, with can take even maybe a bit brighter yellow for the legs, and the nose, yeah, of the bird.
I just realized a huge mistake.
Tell me, Marina, we can correct it. Come on.
No, actually, this one I think is a lost cause. I completely misunderstood the circle. And I remember now that you were talking about it, but I was so concentrated on something that it was just in the back of my mind. And now I realized it's not a circle, it's like stripes.
Yes.
So basically, I have only circles.
I mean, well, let's go with circles. I don't think it's the critical,
Oh my
so,
God. No, the funny thing is that I clearly remember you were talking about it and in detail, but I was so concentrated on something. I was like, okay, I'll get there later. I just made full circles inside.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just a different type of flower, and
Yeah, now
yes.
there's no way around it because they are completely, and I also put the muddy green on them, so there's no way.
Yes, I mean, I can imagine this one is hard to, I mean, and like, of course, don't do the stripes now, because since you have this circle very marked, it will look worse. You have circle and stripes, then it will be just all too
Right, on the bigger ones, I'll try to put a bit of white to kind of make the alternative to the stripes, and maybe it will look like it's stripes. I don't know.
Try it. Sounds good. Yeah, you see, you already solving them. Yes, so I'll give few minutes till we move to the next color. That will be pink. Yes, we will do pinky lines around the closed flowers, but only closed, not around the open flowers. Yeah, and then this pinky we will mix with the yellow that we have. You remember, pink and yellow gives us very nice peachy color. So especially if you add white in it, it becomes more pale and very nice. And with this one, with peachy one, we will do the bird, but with the bird being very careful, and we need to leave these white spaces on the bird. Yeah, so don't rush putting lots of peachy color on the bird. First, we will put kind of almost pale, pale peachy, so almost white, and then we get in with those touch-ups, because this is how you get this feeling of this belly that is spherical. Yes, that is both the head and the stomach. No? So so I take like a tiny dot of pinky. Yeah, don't need much. You can also see, if you like your pink, you can use the way it is. I prefer to mix it a little bit with yellow. Yes, so at this stage, maybe not so much, just to make it a bit warmer, but it stays pink. Yes, because if I keep on adding more yellow, then it goes to this peachy color. And the same kind of this small brush, watery, and doing these lines, only around the closed buds. And again, not too much, not everywhere. Yes, so it's kind of repeating a little bit these brown lines we did. Yeah, these muddy green lines we did at the start. And so it's a little bit more like freshen up, yes, the color combination. Yes, but Yeah, but don't overdo. So it's more like an accent, some peachy strokes. There. Yeah, and I will wait for you. So we do all together the bird. Yeah. So then to stay on the safe side. Yeah, and we're very good in time. It's 1 hour. So yes, I was a bit worried because it looks somewhat complex, but we're all so no rush at all. Yeah. How are we going? Shall we do the bird? No, two. Yes. Yay, good, bird. So yeah, this pinky mix, maybe I add a bit more yellow. Now it's very bright. So it's always also good, you know, I prepared the mix and now I want to lighten it up. So either it can work also sometimes just with what I have on my brush and I grab some white and it's enough, you know, just with the amount of paint on my brush. And when I mix it with white, then I get this light color, yeah. And so here I have like this originally what I've mixed and the pale that I want. Yeah. Even now, so I've created the pale one, still maybe a bit extra white to stay on the safe part, and I go with this very light, almost white peachy color. So I go where the belly is. I mean, I can even cover the whole bird if I want with this light color. And then on top, I will yes, add. So if it looks still, let's say, dark, you can put directly white paint on your drawing, yeah, because that's, if it will be dark, it will not work, this effect of spherical, yeah. So here I have painted it, and then now I can get into my original mix of this peachy, and slowly, yes, start slowly, put some paint, but don't blend it yet. For blending, you need to wash, you need to clean your brush, otherwise you will get all, yeah, you will get too much paint into the also light area. So I sit some, now I clean very nicely my brush, also use napkin, paper towel, I wipe it, so it's clean, no leftovers. And then either I go back into my light mix just to have some paint on my brush so it's easier, yeah. And then now I try to blend a little bit the connection, yeah, but the bird is little, so it's of course shouldn't be a very, so this is how you usually go, yes. You have to keep in mind that light areas, they are very easily, you can easily lose them, so you kind of yeah, take care staying on a safe side, yeah. Well, anyway, acrylics, then you can wait till it's dry and put white on top, of course, but it's never the same when you match it the first time, because then it's light and you still kind of see the paper shining through, and it also gives this lightness, yeah. Of course, if I have dark, wait till it's dry, put white on top, yeah, it's already not so transparent, yeah. But all right, yeah. Okay, so we have the birdie. Now it's the time for the blues, yeah. As I've suggested earlier, try to choose just one blue from the tube, use it the whole way to cover everything. Yes, a good tip on covering, I use parallel two brushes, one bigger, one smaller, because we have like wider areas and we have lots of, yes, corners where we need to get in. So I just use, yes, the two sizes and like parallel, one in one hand, one in other, and just jumping in between. Yes. And another tip, so especially when you do this background and you need to connect by like with a straight line your background with some object, yeah, let's say the bird. So it's the way you position your brush, yes. So let's say here, if I want a straight line with the bird, I put my brush parallel and I paint it with the side of the brush, then I will get a straight line. So not like this, not the brush, yes, brush ends touching the bird, but the side of the brush, and then the lines are nice and straight, yeah. And then I kind of keep on turning my brush depending where is the line that I needed, yeah. Yes.
Which are you using? Is it ultramarine or primary?
Yeah, this is just some weird unknown blue paint. So it's more close to, I would say, yeah, closer to ultramarine probably. And I think in this case, ultramarine is best. And why? Because ultramarine in itself, it's not completely covering paint. It's always half transparent. Also in watercolors in general, it's pigmentation like this. So it will be also easier for you to go around all the in between spaces. And later we can do the second layer of blue, because again, since ultramarine is kind of half transparent, you will be getting the brush strokes, yes? And don't worry, don't spend your time trying to make the perfect layer from the first time. Yes, just leave it. And when it's dry, it will be so much easy. Yeah, you go quickly the second layer, and yes, you will have your stripes covered. So here, when I meet the bird, I just put my brush parallel, and here again, don't worry much if you're getting with your blue, you know, on top of the branch. Why? Because so we will be doing this final step of very dark green, almost like black green, and yes, then we will like revive our black parts. It's like putting back the accents. So. Yes, and again, no rush, try kind of enjoy the feeling. Also, where possible, try to get in between some little spaces between the flowers. So of course we have, yes, the bigger areas, but if you manage to get your blue somewhere in tiny spaces, it will look better. It will look, you know, like there is more air in between. Yes, all the story. So, of course, depending on your brush size, and just somewhere. Yes, and here I use very, I don't even use water. Of course, you can like wet your brush, but minimum, so just it paints. Yes, but just less water, then it's easier to cover. Once you start adding water, then of course you just need kind of more layers. Yeah, although since anyway we're doing kind of second layer, then maybe it's not that bad. Yes, and the change, bigger brush, smaller brush. Now, once I get to the bit bigger area, I can quickly and then finish up So if you got getting closer, getting kind of first layer covered, yeah, and it doesn't look perfect, your blue. So then I suggest just choosing, let's say, another blue. So if you had ultramarine, yeah, maybe you can take a bit darker. So it can be phthalo blue. If you have some like other variations, I have some curious like magnesic blue. I don't know. It looks something closer to green. Yeah, so add a bit of it and mix with my first blue. So just try to get the different tone, yeah, different. And then you can kind of also I made now like vertical stripes. Now with the new mix, I can go with horizontal stripes that will help me cover the some emptinesses. Yes. And just kind of also to, you know, to improve the background, because if it's yes, maybe it's too green. Yeah, you can even actually try, because if you look at original painting, you can see there are those stripes that probably are those wood lines. Yes, so what I want to say, it doesn't have to be perfect like a poster. Yes, but of course it has to look nice. And I think, yeah, with putting second layer, moving your brush, let's say horizontally, if you did first vertically, yeah, kind of works nice. Also feel free to leave somewhere maybe just one layer, yeah, so it also looks, some parts look lighter. So maybe somewhere in between the flowers, you can leave this just one blue. Looks also a bit maybe lighter in between the flowers, or yeah, how it feels. Yeah. And I will also do the imitation of the Japanese writing there. I probably will have to apologize to Japanese people, because of course it will be just kind of imitation. But I find it balances out the painting, because even now I can, if you see on the screen, you can see the one I did already with the writings, and now the one I still don't. Yeah, somehow it looks empty. Somehow it's yeah. So, and there I will be using this thin brush, but it's thin with the long hair. Yeah. So in case you're in the shop, I also, so maybe somewhere where you can see. Yeah. So here I put them, you can see it's almost like, yeah, double size, like the brush part itself, it's longer. And this one is very nice doing the thin lines. Like the short ones, it's faster to work with. So these long, let's say I would, yeah, I use, let's say, for these letters, and maybe somewhere where you need some small parts, you need to like long lines. Yeah, you can use it, because like the sketch we did in the start, I did with this short thin brush. just because it's quicker. Yeah, and so, but so you know. No? But I will leave a bit more dry my blue before jumping in with the yeah, and also trying to put these words, I think, will help kind of hide, yeah, if there is something not perfect on your blue background, then it kind of gets hidden. Oh no, before, oh my God, I almost forgot. Yeah, so before the words, this yeah, the accent part, that's the most important. I'm already skipping towards the end. So yeah, you let me know, I wait. When you say, okay, I'm done with blue, then we mix black and green, and we go all over our painting. In some places, mostly these green leaves, the branch, the bird as well. Yes, repeating these strokes on the bird. So we need to kind of brighten up, yeah, but with the black. So I'm black and green. Yeah.
I'm ready with the blue.
You're ready for that. Yeah, very nice. So then here I'm mixing, yes, green and black. Yeah, it's here, it's kind of just dark, but we mix it with green because anyway it's a bit nicer. Yeah? So I've mixed with one brush. It's easier to mix, but I'm taking back the thin brush, the one I used in the start. Yes, and again also for some parts maybe you don't need to have it so watery. Yes, let's say maybe if it's some small parts on the bird, then the opposite, have it dry. Yes, if you want to darken the eye, let's say, or yes, you want to darken these parts of the nose, or yeah, and then later for these green leaves, if needed, you can go more watery. Yeah. And so we just kind of repeating. Yeah, but of course we are choosing. We're not going blindly all around. We the tree, yes, the parts of the tree. Also nice, make some dots. If you see the original, it looks also some like separate dots on the tree. And then the bird as well, the darker, just one side of the tail is darker. Yeah, not both sides of the tail. And again, the more brave you go, and so this part also helps us to push back the blue. So of course now we got with our blue a little bit all over. And now I'm kind of with this black, painting a bit on top of this blue. So now. And so again, mainly these halfly leaves, yes, the dark part of the halves, and branches. With branches also, not everywhere. And usually it's just one side. One side has darker, more fat, dark black line, and the other side stays with thin, thin line. Yeah, so because otherwise then it will be again too similar and all too black. Yes, of course, you also put, let's say, if you manage a thin line, you put darker accents also in thin parts, but just kind of less. And
Since my brush is very fluffy, I will not much of this. I think my battery is going to die soon. I now the my painting, okay?
Yes,
On
and me,
WhatsApp?
and of course, if you still manage with the battery, of course, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think I still have like 5%, so I prefer to use it for to show you.
Yeah, of course.
One blue, which became messed up. I don't know why. Uh-oh. Water here, and it became like a spot without any. Oh. Oh.
Marine is fighting.
I don't know if I can send this. Oh my god.
Come on, it's not so bad. And you remember, you told me yourself the next day you always find it better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting something. Yes, let's quickly take a look. Yes. That's not so bad at all, Marina. It's very so bright. Even if the bird, is lacking this, let's say, white part, still it somehow it fits very, very nicely to. Probably it's all you can see it on the screen. The rest, it's shining. But love the combination of your orange bird and blue. Yes, they in its tone they match perfectly, and I think your painting has Marina style. Huh? I mean, like your what I mean, yeah. And I can already recognize.
It's much worse when it's really close to your eyes. No, really, because of the lines. I don't. I think it's fine, but the lines are really like messy.
Yeah.
On a distance, it's still okay, kind of.
I like it, honestly. It's it's like this stylization, of Hokusai, but the bird is awesome. It's like more active, like fiery. Okay, so Melanie. Ooh, okay, Mel, you got the. It's probably maybe you haven't been painting for a while. You missed, so now you did all the lots of. Yeah, unfortunately, somehow this light is shining. So for Tammy, you can see. I'm trying to show on the screen. amazing mail, such detailed flowers. Yeah, and lots of buds. Very, very nice. The only comment maybe can be with the eye of a bird. But I mean, just originally it has like this longer, like more white. Yeah. As I mentioned, yeah, it's easily to lose this white, but still it's nice. Yeah, this it's maybe it looks a bit like
I
it's
need to
very
do another layer of blue.
yeah, like it's a Zorro mask, you know, the but nice. Huh? Yeah, lots very, very detailed. Yeah, good job. Also actually like your background, so you see all these stripes, but somehow
Yeah, I
it
need
looks
to do another layer.
I mean, you can see now, yeah, mine one is covered with 2 layers, looks flat. Your one actually,
Yeah, I just ran.
yeah, like
Yeah, I just ran out
maybe.
of time.
Sorry, stop talking. Yeah, tell me how you feel about it.
It's okay. I just need a bit more time to work on the blue, but I'll do that later, I think.
Okay, yeah, but maybe it can even be like this. I feel it more like some air or wind, you know, feeling. Somehow they don't look bad. Your stripes on this big blue part. But as you feel, yeah, of course you can do the second layer and then it will be just yeah, like here I have the stiff fit blue. Yeah, both is nice. So, but cool. Yeah. How you doing, Tammy? How you feel about your painting?
I had fun.
That's good.
I really don't want to share,
Aww.
but I really did have fun. I think so I think you recorded it. Will you send the recording and then I could do it again?
Yes,
okay.
Definitely.
I don't usually paint this fast, and that's on me. I'm not very good. I just do it for fun, and I really did have a good time. So thank you.
Well, I'm very happy. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate, and in the end, that's why we're here, you know, to enjoy. And yes, there will be a recording. Take your time, and yeah. So I will still stick for few minutes. I will do the signs. Yeah, so but I will remove the tape. That's the enjoyable part, especially when the background, you know, is such active and messy. Then getting clean line is nice. So I saw Darren coming up. What he?
She's arrived home.
Darren's like, yeah, yes. I've been there.
I wouldn't ask who's better, Evie.
All right, let's do the letters. So.
Yeah. That's what it's got to struggle.
That's nice.
Thank you for the fun class. I'll come again.
Sure, yes. Thank you,
Have a
Tony.
good-
Then
have a
see
good
you
day.
next time. Yeah,
I'm
bye-bye.
going to. Thank you, Evie.
Yay,
Thank
bye-bye,
you.
Mel.
I'll see you next
time.
week.
Yay. All right, all the students left me with the writing. Let's finish it and then I'll finish the recording. All right, please forgive me, the Japanese viewers, but it just looks nicer with the text. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.